subculture was again, it was a lens that allowed me to see the world from a subculture. Took my experience as an African American, and what it did is it almost became like a touchstone by which I could say, oh, again, getting back to this idea of the outsider, there's something to this. It's almost like, oh, I'm not crazy, there is this kind of like larger existence and world that everyone's like a part of. And as much as I want to be a part of it, I can't be. And so subculture really helped me to not go down a road of bitterness with that, but rather it taught me how to embrace that being the outsider and to really begin to want to look and investigate the reasons why that phenomena even exists. It's also helped me to find means by which fellowship, camaraderie, but really fellowship, like a higher level or a deeper level of fellowship was possible. Because in subculture there is a greater level. It's not exclusive, but it's excuse me, or exhaustive. But there's a greater level of there's another plane by which people can enter into something greater and transcend some of those kind of lower accidents of personhood that people are stuck on, race and class. In subculture, those things are more readily done away with, and now you're on this plane in which you're encountering other people with a greater commonality, and that is in many ways a shadow of what the church does. There's this. I've come to understand it as, the church has a meta culture, and that meta culture is something that is. It's this thread that's consistent that runs through wherever the church has been, whatever continent, whatever time. There's certain things that, as the church has incarnated, those things are always there. And it's when you step down that those kind of accidents of person or of nation, they become more apparent. But that meta culture, that foundation of being, is always there. And subculture is a shadow of that. It's an echo of that. And I think that echoes, unfortunately, but the reality is that echo is much easier to hear. And that echo was the thing that kind of guided me or bidded me to the source, right? So that subculture was an echo of this higher level of being. And that, in many ways, and not just for myself, but for others, led us to orthodoxy. Because even the Protestant expression tradition that I was a part of, evangelical tradition, that's an echo. That was an echo. And so you want to find, where is this echo coming from? And I've discovered that the echo is coming from the church, from orthodoxy. But I don't despise the echo. I see it for what it was, and it's good. And I think that's the thing that I would say in regards of subculture and understanding it. Because when we, myself, my wife, and a small group of young folk that I was teaching, when we began to come into the church, understandably there was some uneasiness because of our, for us, that unifying thing was, yes, we were Christians, but we had this, it was a tribe. And in that tribe, we had, customs and language and all that stuff that was different. And those things have been baptized now. But make no mistake, there's certain things that it wasn't just like this youthful fad. It was very much a part of my formation and understanding and being able to really reject the world to a greater sense, and I find it more valuable now than ever, you know, because it's also something that has encouraged me to stay humble in a different way, in a larger context, and to be patient and to be appreciative, and really in many ways the sacramental reality of the world, right? And understanding that this individualistic idea of salvation and some of the real ramifications of what that means, it's helped me to really discard those things, and it's helped me to really see that God is working with people, right? The Holy Spirit is present everywhere and filleth all things. And the measure and degree of which that is, you know, I can do my best to try to assess it and to judge, but really my desire is to participate in wherever that light is. And that light is everywhere. Just it's in some places more or less than others, you know. But it's valuable. It's valuable in that sense. So one of the things about subculture is that in America there's obviously like a plurality. We don't have a homogeneous culture, no matter, and that's part of one of our struggles here now, is that people want to have that. But I think that subculture is one of the things that helps us understand what that kind of metaculture should look like, because we have, due to various philosophical and economic movements historically, we've divested ourselves of many of the aspects of what kind of folk culture brings to a nation. And, you know, nature abhors a vacuum, so something's going to fill it. And subculture has filled it. Now, again, it's not to say that every aspect of every subculture is good. That's not what I'm saying. But the thing is people look at, let's take whatever subculture someone might be talking about. Like, so for us, it was this kind of like larger general thing of like punk rock, right? But there's so many subsects within that. But in this kind of general understanding, people look and they go like, they think, and they only see, oh, the angst, the rebellion, these things of like perceived darkness and such. But the problem with that is that people aren't looking beneath that and seeing what are those cultural manifestations of a response to and a reaction to, right? And I think the loss of, you know, rites of passage, the loss of tribe in a more intimate understanding, in a more intimate context. This is what subculture brings to people. And that thing doesn't leave them. And in fact, that's in many ways why orthodoxy begins to make sense.
Did years burn out those words? Did a voice whisper absurd? Did your mind comprehend and ask if you'd last till the end?